All right, I was asked a quick question about the homework, the shifters of demand. How do I know if it's movement along the demand curve or an actual shift in the demand curve? Remember, demand is this relationship that consumers have with goods and services. And what this demand curve is essentially telling us is how consumers will respond when the price of a good or service changes. In this case, we're just going to use toilet paper for an example. And for me, let's just say at $5, I'm going to buy 3 packages in a month. That represents about my average use over time and consumption over time. Now, if I walk into the dollar store and I see that the price of toilet paper has gone from $5 to $10, I'm still buying toilet paper. It's something I'm going to need and going to use. My family is going to use. But I'm going to buy less. Law of demand says so. At $2, I'm not going to buy a significant amount of more because I don't want to store it, but I will maybe, if I see it's half price or a little bit more than half price, I'm going to buy maybe 1 extra package a month, store it, or do whatever. But what this demand curve then shows us here is my personal relationship with this good and how I will respond to price change. So as prices move from $2 up to $10, I move along this curve. So movement along the curve is the result of a price change. And that is the only factor, that is the only thing that is going to lead to movement from one point on this curve to another. That is a change in what we call the quantity, quantity demanded. Price change of the good or service, of actual toilet paper, is going to be movement along the curve. Now, there are 5 other factors that shift the entire relationship. So I'm going to hang out in this scenario until something else changes in my world. And if you remember, if you happen to watch the video, there are 5 shifters. If my income changes, if the prices of goods related to toilet paper were to change, I don't know what that would be, but a substitute to toilet paper, I don't know, paper towels, I don't know what else you'd use. But if something related to toilet paper changes in price, if my expectations of the future. Now here's where we got going here with the coronavirus and the pandemic outbreak. Consumers had this expectation that, hey, maybe toilet paper might not be as readily available in the future if everybody's jumping out to get it. So their expectations of the future were of future availability caused them to go out and purchase a bunch of rolls to kind of hoard it or save it. So there we would see the actual demand relationship shifting. So at that $5 price, the market didn't have a chance to really respond to such a quick increase in demand. Now instead of buying 3, I move to a new point because the entire curve shifted from point A all the way out to point D. I'm now purchasing 5 at that same price. Now the price hasn't changed. It's some other factor that has shifted the demand curve. We call these non-price shifters of demand. So consumer tastes and attitudes, income changed, any of these factors will move that curve one way or the other. If you want to look at money income, maybe I lost my job and now I have to really cut back. That would be a shift to the left. Now I'm telling my kids, now we're here, A, B, C, D, E, make the point F, and I'm only buying 1 package per month, and I've now rationed my kids to only have, 1 or 2 squares per trip to the restroom. If that makes sense. So a price change of the actual good of toilet paper, and we'll get to what causes that price change. That's actually a shifting of the supply curve that causes the price to change, but that's a later video. But if the price changes, you'll see movement along the demand curve. Price change never shifts the curve. Factors that shift the curve: if my income changes, if prices of related goods change, or consumer expectations change, numbers of consumers change, or consumer tastes change, then we will see the curve shift either to the right or to the left, depending on obviously what has changed. Hope that helps.